which has robust discussion and fellowship. But the very first voice to join me on the very first show I did on KBLA Talk 1580 was this guy. He's a longtime community organizer, the field director for Black Lives Matter Grassroots. He is the founder of the Fannie Lou Hamer Institute. And I always forget this, but it's, what is it, 7 presidential campaigns you've worked on?
Oh, good. I think 6.
6.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Akili, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and happy Juneteenth to you. And it's good to be back here. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years.
I know it is. It does, in a way, it feels like 100 years, but in a lot of ways, it feels like it was the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's, it's a pretty, congratulations, Tavis. It's a milestone achievement to be 5 years deep for any business, let alone a talk radio station in a hostile major market.
Yes. Well, congratulations to KBLA and happy anniversary.
And, one of the reasons why is because a lot of the places where there are black talk outlets, places like Baltimore, which are majority black or close to majority black, I think Baltimore is like 60%, or a city like Philadelphia, Chicago, where
Jackson.
where there's a huge black community. Now, in LA, we do have a lot of black folks, quite as it's kept, but we're a small percentage of the market. I mean, 8%, 7% of 4 million is still a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's a much smaller slice of the pie, so we don't get catered to in quite the same way.
Yes, and I think the other thing is that you all bring a progressive, as you all, as being.
We?
Yes, we bring, because I'll be on tomorrow.
Right. Yes, this is not a drill
Yeah,
a
I
lot
know.
of the time on Saturdays.
But the unapologetically progressive, the unapologetically black, I think adds an element that you don't get across the country, even in black markets, in heavily
Yeah,
black
that's
markets.
true. I have heard that. They can be rather corporate demish.
Yes.
They can be very Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes, yeah, and so I think that not only being here, and having a presence, but being willing to talk up, being willing to speak out, being willing to make challenges.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Being willing to look at the whole series that was done around the fire in Altadena, and what this station did, and the fact that you air James Farr. I don't know if you'll see that in other markets. I don't know if you'll see that.
I hope we're influencing them.
Yes.
Because, I always say, and I know you know because you're a long time border, I don't know, would you call yourself a radical?
Yes.
Okay.
I've become very radical in my old age.
A long time radical. That, I always say the energy in this country, in the Democratic Party, in the democratic process is in the progressive wing of our party. I'm a Democrat. I know you're not. But I sometimes ponder leaving because the ways that the progressive wing is co-opted, meaning we'll take your policies and do a watered-down version of it and keep you out of the process of power. I think that has to stop, or the party is going to keep losing.
I agree. And the party has to stand for something. And I think that part of the reason why there's a large independent vote group is
there?
It's well, in California, it's the second largest party. But
yeah, but in California,
Yeah.
a lot of those are Republicans who don't want to alienate their friends, so they pretend to be independent.
So yeah, but it is still a significant a significant group of people, and I think nationally, it's growing, and that's partly because they don't believe that the party will stand for something first of all, and then will fight for something.
Well,
and
yeah.
you need both.
But leaning into the progressive
Yeah.
wing does mean standing for something, right?
Yes.
If we're supporting a Summer Lee, you know what I mean? If we're truly supporting a Raz Baraka, then we are standing for something because those folks are bringing policies that are bringing approaches that are not being considered or are actually actively being fought by the corporate wing of the Democratic Party.
The new mayor-elect of Washington, D.C.
Indeed, who's 38. And I think that's plenty seasoned to be running a city.
I agree. And they I mean, if you look at the populist, the progressive side. I mean, the fact that openly and honestly talk about affordability and what the government can do to create affordability around crucial issues in our lives. Child care is probably the second or third largest expenditure that families
That's
have.
so expensive.
And there's almost nothing.
It's almost as expensive as college,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, but almost nothing is being done about it. Nothing collectively is being done about it. Nothing socially is being done about it. And so people, you're just basically on your own. And if you can't figure it out, well, that's too bad. Which is the kind of theme and motto of this country.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think about the social housing type programs that you see in Europe, which helps. Many times it's retirees or people who would be retirees if they had a pension or anything to fall back on. That's something that could be done about affordability. A public grocery store like similar to what Zoran Mamdani in New York is talking about doing. Public option bank. These are
universal, affordable health care.
Yeah.
It's an issue I've been working on since 1994. And we can't get there yet. I mean, the closest was the affordability, what is commonly called Obamacare, ACA. That's the closest, and that's being undermined and gutted.
And to me, like, the irony of that, well, we have a trillionaire. Elon Musk is now a trillionaire who got all these government subsidies. So to me, now that you're a trillionaire and we, the people of the United States, subsidize you, an undocumented immigrant who came in illegally, to build these billion-dollar companies, you need to pay back the subsidies that you got.
That's why they just qualified the billionaire tax that will be on the ballot in November that will require that billionaires give 5% of that billion.
Yeah, but that billion is a cheap who already fled. Who already fled
Yes.
to, what is it, Florida or Texas?
Texas. They moved to Texas.
Ha ha.
Yeah.
You got to live in Texas. Now, my Texas friends get mad at me when I say that. They love Texas. I get it. I'm a California kid. But the point is, that's how cheap you got $1 trillion, but you don't want to pay taxes so badly that you moved.
Yep. You don't, and I think the whole idea, concept, and notion of social good, social responsibility. They used to talk about this contract, this social contract that used to exist, that if you work hard, you get paid, and then you move out. That never applied to black people, by the way. So, but it was a kind of one of the continued American myths that you see that you hear talking about a lot. Well, that contract has long since been broke. Wages haven't kept up with the cost of living. Access to basic needs, and now this regime is dismantling education, the education department. And so even education, which we've all agreed in most cases is a social good, is undermined and being dismantled and only functioning for some people.
All right, we're going to continue this conversation. You're invited in at 800-920-1580. And we're going to talk Father's Day, too. We got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions. This is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-242-1551. That's 800-242-1551. 800-242-1551.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
You know him, you trust him, and now the whole nation is taking notice. Talkers Magazine, the Bible of talk radio, has ranked Tavis Smiley number 14 on their prestigious Heavy 100 list. 100 voices, the most important in all of talk radio. Tavis has moved from number 45 to number 33 to number 16, and now he's in the top 15, right here on your station. His is one of the most trusted, credible, and reliable voices in broadcast media today. Straight, no chaser, always. Tavis brings you the conversations that matter, the newsmakers, the truth tellers, the voices that don't get heard anywhere else. Weekdays on this station. This is what it sounds like when your community has a seat at the table. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now. Akili is here. You're invited in. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Father's Day. I know
Yes.
we're so caught up in celebrating our birthday as a radio station. I don't want to forget to say Happy Father's Day to you, Akili, and to all the papas. And, you know, there's the papas that are doing mom and pop work, and the
Yes.
fathers at large that are acting as fathers and stepping up for those that aren't their biologicals. And thank you, and we appreciate you. We love you.
Well, one of the things I'm truly glad about, that the myth that the absentee father that has circulated in the black community for, well, since the 60s with that Goldberg report about the families and welfare and all that kind of stuff. We are in our children's lives. We stay in our children. I mean, all my children are grown now. I mean, they range in age from 54 to 23.
Wow, that's a big range.
Yeah, I know. I have children in almost each decade, the late 60s, the early 70s, the 80s, and the 2000s. And they've been just tremendously gracious to me and very open to me. I was out trying to save the world, and I couldn't save my own family. So one of the things I talk about is I love the work I do, and I'm committed to it, and I made the choice to do it, but they made the sacrifice. Their father wasn't there. Like I said, I was out trying to save the world and couldn't keep my own family together. So, but they've been very gracious to me. But the myth, killing the myth of that absentee fathers, and that we aren't in our children's lives, and that, you know, we don't invest and continue with it, is being challenged now, both in the data but also in the outcomes. And so I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to see that, and I'm glad to see Father's Day, which is nothing. We don't support Father's Day like we do Mother's Day, but it's being elevated.
It's getting bigger. Judge Maybelline has her wonderful Father's Day awards and celebration this weekend, and I think it's probably not too late to get tickets if you're looking for somewhere to take Dad on the 21st. It's really nice because she has brunch, and they really show love to the dads, and a lot of black dads come. They always have music and celebrities and stuff. You know, my dad has passed. Rest in peace, Amiri Baraka, a.k.a. Leroy Jones, a.k.a. Baba. And so I sometimes don't think about Father's Day the same way that I used to, because my dad is not here. My granddad's are both gone. So, yeah, but happy Heavenly Father's Day to all of them.
Yes, yeah.
And if you want to call and show your papa some love, your dad, your big homie, your mentor, we're here for you at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580.
Well, and like I said, I'm glad to see that it's being elevated.
What's the proper way to celebrate it, Akili?
I think to let us just kind of do whatever we want. And I think for most fathers, that would be nothing.
Don't buy me a tie. Leave me alone.
Oh yeah,
Just
no,
leave
no,
me
no,
alone and let me chill.
no. But I do think, the idea of acknowledgement and celebration is good. But we men are moving away from the stoicness, and I'm so we're moving. I'd like to think we're moving to being much more emotional, much more taking care of ourselves and being taken care of, and those. And for many people, certainly in my generation, we have to learn those kind of things because our inclination is to say, "I'm okay,"
Yeah.
when in fact we aren't.
Right. I got this. Well, I think it's Men's Mental Health Month. I usually don't track months and weeks and those kinds of things, but Captain Tyrone was in here, and he's got a series of like yoga classes for men and men's like fellowship groups and things. And I think you're right. It's getting more acceptable for men to show up and support each other.
Yep. And I mean, I've talked a lot about this is the best work I've done for the past 55 years, my work with Black Lives Matter. But a lot of it also comes from the fact that it's black women led, directed, and founded. But there is an inclination or a trend around one spirituality that I didn't fully get and participate in. And two, this notion of healing and self-care, things that I've had to learn about and try to understand and incorporate. I'm still not quite there yet. But once again, our inclination is to say, I'm all right. Our arm just fell off, but I'm all right. My leg just fell off, but I'm all right. I mean, suck it up. And so we tend to do that. And I think certainly this generation is helping us move beyond that, I'd like to think. I'm learning.
Yeah, well, it's really the Gen Z folks that are really moving us beyond it. Let's go to Dwight calling us from the city of Compton. Good morning, Dwight. He's one of our day ones for sure. Hi, Dwight.
Good morning, Dominique. Good morning, Akili. I just want to say happy Juneteenth, happy anniversary, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy thank God. Shout out to all the postal workers that may have the day off because they gonna give us our ballots to us. I know y'all are. Y'all forget all that other stuff. But Dominique, I just want to thank the station for keeping us inspired, keeping us informed, and the solution, I think, to some of our problems would be everybody pays taxes. I don't care how you're a billionaire or whatever, you pay your taxes. Everybody pays into Social Security. That would cover our reparations. That would cover our schools, our health care, everybody. Everybody pays something.
Well, we all do. We the working class, the poor, and the middle class, we do.
Yeah.
It's the rich people that
and I
are
would
dodging
like to have
the
us
taxes.
pay zero. Yeah, I would like us to pay zero up to maybe 50,000, and maybe after that to maybe 500,000, you pay 1%. But everybody, even if you're a billionaire, you pay a percentage, and the people at the bottom pay zero up to a certain percentage just to get, and stop supporting the schools by the property tax, because of course the better schools are going to be in the better neighborhoods. Support the schools from everybody paying into Social Security. We ain't got to worry about no Social Security. We ain't got to worry about reparations.
Well,
we got money for that.
But part of the problem with Social Security is that they keep. Well, that's another problem. You can explain that. But also they keep raiding the Social Security funds for things that they need for the general fund, and then they don't put the money back. So you can fund Social Security all day. We fund it out of our paychecks. But if the Congress and the president keeps raiding the money and then wants to cry and say that the fund is not sustainable because they keep stealing from it and not replacing it, then that's a forever problem. Explain the cap, please. Hold on one sec. Go ahead.
Very quickly, it's two things. Johnson is the first president to do that. He used it to defray the cost of the Vietnamese War, and every president since then has been doing it. And right now, there's a cap on Social Security. If you make beyond $108,000 a year, you don't pay any Social Security at all. And so what many of us have been fighting to lift the cap, because if you lift the cap and everybody pays into it, as you're referring to, we will have enough money in the Social Security to sustain each generation indefinitely, but the cap has to be lifted. It's one of the good social programs that works, that functions well, and everybody pays in, everybody benefits, but not everybody pays in, and so we got to lift the cap. I was the field director for Social Security Works, so I spent a lot of time trying to help people see, understand, and accept what we can do first to defend Social Security, what we can do to make sure that it's sustainable, and what we can make sure to make sure we support it. And so, and lifting the cap was the thing I spent a lot of time on.
I hope we can do it. No, we won't do it under this administration. Mike Johnson, the speaker, is trying to privatize Social Security, which basically means put it out of business and make it out of reach for most people. That would be a disaster because most Americans, not most Black Americans, most U.S. Americans depend on Social Security to eat and live when they are of retirement age, because they don't have retirement, they don't have pensions. This country has defunded all of that, and so we're talking more elders living in the streets, in shopping carts, if we allow these folks to do that. We've got news, traffic, and sports, then more with Akili and you on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
With BIN News Now. This week, the Obama Presidential Center opened just in time for Juneteenth. Former presidents from George Bush to Bill Clinton were invited, but Trump was not on the list. NBC5 says the Obama Foundation CEO Valerie Jarrett says that the dedication ceremony was only a celebration for supporters, donors, and those who helped Barack Obama get elected. Here's the former president.
And yet, more than anything, I hope this center will serve as an affirmation of just how special, how precious our democracy truly is.
The flu has left over 160 troops sick at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. NBC News says it comes after Pete Hegseth stopped mandatory flu vaccinations from being taken 2 months ago. Finally, to BIN weather. Tropical storm Arthur continues to drop rain across the Gulf Coast, flooding out some communities in its path. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Struggle with weight loss? OrderlyMeds.com/radio offers doctor-guided access to options like semaglutide and tirzepatide, often up to 50% less, delivered to your home. Visit OrderlyMeds.com/radio. Individual results may vary. Eligibility required. See site for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers had the best record in Major League Baseball after a 3-game sweep over Tampa Bay. The sweep put the Dodgers at 48-27. They have a 9-game lead over San Diego in the NL West. The Dodgers are off today. They start a 3-game series at home Friday night against Baltimore. The first round of the World Cup is generating high TV ratings for Fox Sports and Telemundo, the primary broadcast partners for the World Cup. An average of 6 million viewers tuned into Fox Sports for each of the first 16 group matches. That's a 128% increase from first-round matches for the World Cup in 2022. An average of 7.5 million people watch first-round matches on Telemundo, the Spanish-language network based in Miami. The 7.5 million is a 234% increase from 2022. 18 million viewers on Fox Sports watched the U.S. beat Paraguay last Friday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello, family. I'm Dr. Paul Wallace inviting you to our annual Set Yourself Free Juneteenth open house at Wallace Skin and Body. Join me this Saturday, June 20th from noon to 4 p.m. Say goodbye to double chins and sagging skin. Say hello to instantaneous skin tightening without surgery by Zerf. Speaking of tightening, it's not too late to work on that body and feel the real you with Body Shaping by M-Sculpt Neo. It's time to reclaim and regrow those lost edges or increase your hair density naturally with U-Secretone stem cell technology. It's 34 times more potent than PRP. We'll demo lasers for black skin, raffle AI skin mapping every hour, and offer 50% off all products. Call 323-296-3376. That's 323-296-3376 to reserve your spot. I look forward to seeing you, and remember, looks count.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavish Smiley. In my prior commentary about Destination Crenshaw, or Procrastination Crenshaw as we call it around here, I opine that sometimes neglect becomes a decision. I want to challenge my own neglect becomes a decision thesis in just a moment. This $100 million revitalization project was supposed to transform 1.3 miles of Crenshaw Boulevard into a world-class celebration of black art and culture. It was first promised to open in 2023, then 2024, and here we are, still waiting, still suffering. The businesses along this corridor, black-owned businesses, are suffocating. Construction chaos everywhere, shuttered storefronts, a community being bled dry by broken promises. So, I stand by my earlier formulation that neglect becomes a decision. But as I have thought more about the gross negligence, the incompetence on steroids, it occurs to me that sometimes neglect isn't just a decision. Neglect is the default position of some black electeds. Not all, but some. They just don't believe that black folk deserve the very best. They don't believe that we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. So, we go from being constituents on the campaign trail to collateral once they're sworn into office. And when, for example, one is termed out of office and can't run again, but is still clutching the gavel of power, one thinks that he can stay comfortably above the fray while we anguish for years on end. The apparent attitude is, I'll just leave this mess for the next person to clean up. That's what it feels like, Mr. President, Mr. LA City Council President. But it's not just him, it's the local media too, black and white, corporate and independent. Look at how little has been said about this never-ending nightmare in Crenshaw, year after year after year. Nobody at City Hall and nobody who's supposed to be holding City Hall accountable seems to care one bit about the safety and security of Crenshaw residents and the black business owners who are slowly being strangled. Don't be fooled. This isn't just a construction delay. This is what disrespect looks like with a budget attached. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavish Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Wishing happy birthday to KBLA. 5 years old, yeah, with more that's coming your way. Congratulations, come on, y'all, let's celebrate. Happy birthday to KBLA. Look, 5 years deep and we still going up. Built it from the ground, never real, no one else. Real talk on the air, then the truth get heard. Every day the proof getting served. He had a vision and he stayed with the plan. Now they tapped in from the beach to the land. Never back down, 7 days of the week, still going up now. We 5 years deep. Wishing happy birthday to KBLA. Tavi Smiley, you did it with 5 years today. Congratulations, come on y'all, let's celebrate. Happy birthday to KBLA.
All right. I got to show some love right now, Akili, to Sunita Chanel and Miles Lowe. They put that together to celebrate as a surprise. We surprised Tavis yesterday. That was dope. As a celebration of 5 years, our anniversary of KBLA. So Chanel wrote the hook and Sunita Chanel wrote the hook and Miles Lowe wrote the rhyme and produced the track, and you guys got together and made a song, and Miles mixed in a little bit of artificial intelligence in the soup, and it's dope. Good job, you guys.
Yes, very good.
Thank you. I'm really glad you guys like it. I'm not gonna lie, I was 100% sure you guys would not like it like that. But to see the reaction around here, to see Dominique like it, to see Tavis liked it. Tavis said he loved it. And shout out to
loved it.
Chanel.
He was dancing.
Yeah,
that was funny. Well, I also like the Afrobeats version.
Yeah.
I don't know if we do. Do you have it? Maybe we can play. I know they're not gonna play it anywhere else on the station. I liked that version too.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I got that. We got the Afrobeats version. We had the the West Coast like Kaylani version. So yeah, but that's all Chanel's voice though. So yeah, we got the cloner voice and actually a producer into the song.
Yeah, Chanel can really sing.
Right, exactly.
And you can really rap. Look at how much talent we have around here.
I know.
Our production director also writes and produces the raps and the song. This happy anniversary song for us. Our operations person also sings and writes hooks.
And we were talking earlier about the uniqueness of KBLA. Look at the wealth of talent you have. Look at the fact you take positions. Look at the fact that you are willing to challenge and confront. Most radio stations simply do not do that. So you got this talent, you got these positions, and I'm glad to be associated with KBLA. I'm glad I was your first host. I'm glad tomorrow I'm going to be on with This Is Not a Drill.
What are you guys talking about tomorrow?
Well, Tandy and I are talking about the Cuba trip.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, that'll be great. And you guys got to stop by here also and talk about that. Yeah, because the situation there is dire. But yeah, I'm glad to be part of it too. When I quote my mom saying history is now, which is a quote she used to have on our refrigerator, it is because I do think we're making history, particularly at KBLA. Hopefully it'll be an institution for a long, long time, but we know for sure that if it isn't, we're making history right now.
Yeah, and once again, you filled a vacuum. There was a real vacuum here in terms of all the things that you all do, and so you filled that vacuum, and you don't see this in many big. Yeah, well. You're right. We all do. But KBLA has filled that vacuum.
Yeah, for sure.
If you talk to me for more than 2-3 seconds, I'm gonna ask you to download KBLA because
download the app on your phone. Yeah,
it's the easiest way to keep in touch. It's the easiest way to follow. It's the easiest way to have it available to you all the time.
Yep. And we were talking yesterday. I know that there's tens of thousands, possibly even millions, of AI-generated podcasts. But this is different because you know who we are. You know who Tavis Smiley is. He's been around a minute. You know Dominique DePrima. I've been around a minute. Akili's been around a minute and a half. And you can find Miles on the mic in the community. We're not robots. We're not crafted messages of mis and disinformation coming from, Russian laboratories or right-wing think tanks. We're humans that are in the community, that love our community, that have track records of doing, what we do. And so I hope that makes us stand out and makes you tell someone to download the app, like Akili said.
Yeah. I mean, and more importantly, I do it when I'm not in LA.
Yeah.
When I'm in other places.
When you're in Ghana.
Yeah. Well, I haven't quite tried that yet. Maybe I will. But certainly, I was in Texas, for the Camelo Anthony thing, and I was getting people to download.
That's why you have on the purple scarf.
Yes.
You're still wearing your purple in solidarity with Carmelo.
Yes. When I was in Mobile and other places. I would talk to people and tell them about Black Lives Matter Grassroots, and we talked. We got a weekly program, and then we took download, and people did it right there in front of me, and they started listening, and so what I've observed is if I can get people to download it right away, is that they listen and. They do it and then they go back. They do it and then they go back. That is, they listen and then go on and do something else, and then they go back. And so I encourage people to download the app almost as soon as I start talking to them, because it's one way to support the station.
Yeah. Yes, indeed, it is. Well, talking about stuff like Social Security, which there's so many other problems and drama on the radar right now. There's this Iran deal, which looks like it's really not a deal. J.D. Vance didn't go. Israel's back to bombing Lebanon. Seems like the whole thing is, which was a terrible deal anyway, is probably going to fall apart. And it's one thing after another. Our president appears to be, I said I was going to start calling him the resident instead of the president. He lives in the White House, but he ain't presidential. Seems to be deteriorating before our eyes.
And everything he touches is deteriorating. Here's a classic example. He insisted that he wanted the reflection pool to be blue.
Oh my gosh!
Now it's turned green algae, and the paint is coming up. I mean,
after spending $14 million to renovate it.
That's the kind of thing that's happening, and his base cling. I mean, no matter what, they're going to accept him. But I think people are beginning to think.
I think even some of his base is starting to erode, but I could be wrong.
I don't see it. I mean, he in 2016 said he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody. And
Yeah, and I do think that's true. I mean, we've seen that, but yet when he stands up there and says, "I don't think about the pain of the American consumer, and I like inflation."
Oh, inflation, yes.
When people are having trouble filling up their gas tanks. I think that's worse than standing for a lot of U.S. Americans. That's worse than you standing in the middle of Fifth Avenue and killing someone else.
I think his arrogance really, and we've been around these kind of people before who are arrogant, who think that they know that they're always the smartest person in the room, and they always are bragging, boasting, and talking about themselves. He is a classic example of that. He's a narcissist. That narcissism is turning people off, I think.
I hope. And then you've got these policies which, are so problematic. We're turning left, we're turning right. The people don't notice stuff like Social Security, which to me is foundational. I think it's a really huge problem on the horizon that people are not paying attention to because there's so many other problems right in our faces. But Mike Johnson has said he wants to privatize it. He has said it out of his mouth, and that will mean some kind of private account, which a lot of folks are not going to be able to sustain or manage, especially poor people who are the ones that need Social Security the most. How do we save that? You worked, on this issue. How do we stop that from happening?
Well, I would ask Mike Johnson to talk to George Bush. In 2004, after George Bush was reelected, he embarked on this privatization effort. It went nowhere. His poll numbers collapsed, and he had to walk away from it. And every country, Brazil tried it, and every other country that's tried to privatize it, it just makes it the worst. The Wall Street has been rubbing their hands. It's like, well, I wish we could get that because they could, it would make them richer. But it seems to be a legitimate third rail. It has become such a part of the American persona, the American thinking, that to try to do away with it is a dangerous thing. And so I would encourage Mike Johnson to talk to George Bush because he tried it. His poll numbers just tanked, and people, white people, really just push back against it. So I think it's a loser.
I agree, but Donald Trump's poll numbers are already in a toilet.
He doesn't care.
And he's gotten away with a lot of things that other presidents don't, like overturning Roe versus Wade, right? Crazy decision the Supreme Court made. Looks like they're saying that drug dealers can have guns.
Guns, yes.
You just never know what the Trump administration is going to do. Yes, we approve drug dealers having guns. I mean, okay.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Everyone else has them.
And I think that part of what many of us want to see, and we made reference earlier about the Democratic Party. Part of it is the tension that exists between constituents and the corporate. And what I've observed about many Democratic, certainly the leadership, is given a choice between constituents and corporate, they always choose corporate.
Yeah.
And so I'm concerned that there won't be a fight back. There won't be a real effort at looking at affordability and really doing something about the things that impact working people.
Simple things that they could do. And one of the reasons that I'm so worried about Social Security is because homelessness is no longer just an LA thing.
Yes.
It is a national problem. It probably never was just an LA thing, but it's now gotten to be much of bigger problem, and we know a lot of the homeless are people who are older. And so if they get rid of that, what they call an entitlement, but it's really an earned benefit that we've paid into our whole lives, the number of homeless people is going to skyrocket, and it's just going to be a tsunami.
Well, and you made the point earlier about for some people, it's their only source of income.
For most people.
Yes, for most people it is. 65 and plus. The other thing that we don't talk about is SSI, which is a part of Social Security.
Right. Which is disability for people with mental health problems, right?
And disability problems. And it also pays, as the SSI the whole home care is paid for out of that. And so it has a rippling effect in our society. And to try to dismantle it or to do away with it would cause irreparable damage and hurt to people. And there's no evidence, none whatsoever. In the Reagan administration, that whole trickle-down thing, there's no evidence that works. One of the first
right now it's trickling up.
Well, it's trickling up from us to the billionaires.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Your first caller talked about, we all need to pay in. But if you look at the tax code, how is it written, how is it applied, it benefits the rich. It doesn't benefit working people.
And that's the other thing you said about the cap. Well, I guess the logic is that because rich people don't need Social Security, but that's BS because those rich people are not paying pensions to workers, and they're using that human capital, those human resources of human beings disproportionately to make themselves richer. So they should be putting in a penny here and there to help those people survive when they've used them up and they're no longer in the workforce.
But as Kwame Ture once says, in referring to Dr. King's, appealing to white folks' consciousness, he said they don't have a consciousness, so you can't appeal to.
So they don't even care if they throw their own granny under the bus.
Yeah. Well, and you use Elon Musk as an example. He benefited from social investment. And he was able to make himself and the people that he's with around rich. You can't, and then unwilling to then at least let's just be fair. Right? We ain't asking you for everything, but make some portion.
He won't even pay taxes, let alone paying back all of the money that the government invested so he could be a trillionaire, which is billions and billions. And not only that.
And he's getting contracts now.
Yeah, he's still getting contracts. He's still getting all kinds of free perks, and now he's taking it away from others. I mean, he was the one who's going to have millions, literally millions of deaths on his hand because of taking away medicines and things through USAID that he defunded when he created that Doge, which I call, Department of Grifters for Elon.
Yes. Well, I have to remember that one. Yeah. I mean, the classic example is the screw worm. They, in an effort to save $15 million, they pretty much defunded this portion of the FDA, and so this cattle come across the border, and it had these worms in it, and now they have to spend billions of dollars to hire back a lot of that staff and do the work that needs to be done to get rid of the screw worm. Now, they save $15 million, but they wind up spending billions more to repair something that shouldn't have been broken in the first place.
Yeah, that's the Doge way. Fire all these people. Now you're going to have to pay them for illegally firing them, and you're going to spend way more than you supposedly saved.
Yeah.
Not to mention the ethical piece about taking people's jobs when those are many of them black women.
Yeah, I was just going to say that not just people's jobs, black women's jobs.
Yeah.
And I've got friends in D.C. that are really struggling.
To reverse reparations.
Yeah. And you made a point earlier about the trickle down. It's trickling up.
Yeah, that's welfare for the rich. Akilis here. I'm Dominique DePrima, and you're invited in at 800-920-1580. We're celebrating 5 years on the air.
Yes.
KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. At the heart of the Al Wooten Center's mission for good citizenship and academic excellence is a desire to ensure that every student avoids the kind of lifestyle and overcomes the kinds of challenges that led to the murder of Al Wooten Jr. In 1990, founder Myrtle Fay Rumpf opened the center in honor of her son's life. In 2026, they are serving more than 300 students in grades 3 through 12 annually online and on site at their youth center and other sites in the South LA area. The Al Wooten Jr. Youth Center takes a neighborhood approach to the revitalization and empowerment of a community in crisis. The Wooten Center provides free after-school and summer programs to help students in grades 3 through 12 attain grade-level proficiency and promotion, high school graduation, and college and career access and success. The Al Wooten Center focuses on academics, STEM, the arts, and so much more. Join them for an enriching experience that sparks creativity and nurtures young minds. Tap in at wootencenter.org. That's wootencenter.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're an African American mom who is pregnant or have a baby under 6 months old, you deserve care that lifts, listens, and lasts. Black Infant Health is for you. It's a free program with individual support, group sessions, and resources to start your mothering journey. BIH makes space for moms and their families to create community. Learn more about the programs in Los Angeles County. Check us out at blackinfanthealth.org.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for Progressive Talk Radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back indeed. Okay, so we're having our party for KBLA. Hopefully you've signed up and you're on your way. But Black Lives Matter Los Angeles has a Juneteenth party. I remember it was a big hit last year. Are you guys doing it again?
Absolutely. We can't wait. Starts at 12 o'clock. It's going to be at our facility at the Center for Black Power, right on the corner of 43rd Place and Degnan, right behind the Metro stop. We got we're gonna have games. People are gonna be out playing dominoes, drinking red soda, eating fried chicken and watermelon. Doing it seriously. It was a great hit last year. Melina's gonna be out, the Domino Queen, taking on all comers, and probably winning. So please come out and join us. It starts today at 12 o'clock. Come on by. Come hang out with us. Come drink some of the red soda water and get some fried chicken and watermelon with us. But more importantly, help us fellowship. Help us build a community. Help us educate each other about what's going on. So come on by.
Yeah, and that's, if you haven't been to the BLMLA Center for Black Power, it is right next to the Leimert Park Metro stop. It is across the street from the actual park that we call Leimert Park.
That's where Black Lives Matter was started. It was started
at the park,
not
at
that
the center,
park.
because the center is newer.
Yes, but it was started in the park in 2013, and so for us to be right across the street from it now, 13 years later, we're going into our 13th year. So come on out and join us. We're gonna be there from 12 o'clock until we run out of food, until Melina has beaten everybody in dominoes and nobody wants to. I'm going home. So we're gonna be there. Come out and join us. Come out and fellowship with us. Come out and learn more about Black Lives Matter Grassroots, which is Black Lives Matters, and come out and share and celebrate with us.
It's 3423 West 43rd Place, not 43rd Street. If you go on 43rd Street, you will not find it. 3423 West 43rd Place, right next to the Beauty College, and the Black-owned ice cream shop, across the street from the Leimert Park thing with the gates around it. And right next to the Leimert Park Metro stop.
Yep. I want to give a quick shout out to Martin Ludlow. I know he's going to be on. And I want to thank Martin. And I was telling you, Martin is 99% of the reason I'm sitting in this chair today. So thank you so much, Martin. And thank you so much, Dominique, for having me on. I remember the first time we did this, and I was like, wow, this is something. And I didn't know whether we were going to be able to keep on, because I was thinking, wow, we got to be able to support this and sustain this. And for 5 years we have, which means we can do another 5 to get us to 10. And if we can do 5 like that, we are going to be around and play a valuable role in this community. And I'm so glad that Tavis had the vision and the capacity to make this work. And I'm glad he brought people like you around to keep it going.
Yeah, I'm proud to be a part of it. When he called me and we started brainstorming, I gave him the slogan, unapologetically
Really?
progressive.
Okay.
He had been looking for a slogan, and he kind of got mad at me for coming up with it. But then again, he was happy because we wanted to be able to be clearly black, but also invite in all progressives. And I think you're right, and I really want to thank the people who have supported us. It makes a huge difference whether you buy one little spot, for just a little bit, or you spend a lot of money, whether you rally, people to download our app, however, spread the word, whatever it is you do, it makes a huge difference because we are going up against these giant media corporations and trying to survive in a hostile, huge market. I want to shout out Marie Deary, who was the very first person to spend money on this station. Wealth Management of Long Beach. First dollars in, and I love that. So thank you for that, Marie.
So, and once again, congratulations on the Big 5. I'll be here tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. We're going to have This Is Not a Drill. Tandiwe and I are going to be talking about our recent trip to Cuba. So please join us tomorrow on This Is Not a Drill on KBLA 1580. That's it.
Yeah, and the state of Cuba. I mean,
Yes.
It's your trip, but it's also what Cuba is facing right now. This Is Not a Drill is 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. You'll be day 1 of our 6th year.
Yes.
So
Okay, yeah. we
make
gotta
it
remember
happen.
that.
Yeah.
And thank you once again, Dominique, for having me on and allowing me sometimes to ramble. But I do try to catch myself when I get off into rambling.
You bring a lot of great, important information and so much organizing work. I wanted to ask you about the opening of the Obama Center, but we don't have time. But wow.
But open up the phones. From the way it looked like it was a magnificent thing. I think he calls it a center, and not the library.
Yeah.
So open up the phones and see what people think.
Yeah. It was a moment for sure. We've got Freedman Friday next. We're talking reparations on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
With BIN News Now. This week, the Obama Presidential Center opened just in time for Juneteenth. Former presidents from George Bush to Bill Clinton were invited, but Trump was not on the list. NBC5 says the Obama Foundation CEO Valerie Jarrett says that the dedication ceremony was only a celebration for supporters, donors, and those who helped Barack Obama get elected. Here's the former president.
And yet, more than anything, I hope this center will serve as an affirmation of just how special, how precious our democracy truly is.
The flu has left over 160 troops sick at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. NBC News says it comes after Pete Hegseth stopped mandatory flu vaccinations from being taken 2 months ago. Finally, to BIN weather. Tropical storm Arthur continues to drop rain across the Gulf Coast, flooding out some communities in its path. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Struggle with weight loss? OrderlyMeds.com/radio offers doctor-guided access to options like semaglutide and tirzepatide, often up to 50% less, delivered to your home. Visit OrderlyMeds.com/radio. Individual results may vary. Eligibility required. See site for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers had the best record in Major League Baseball after a 3-game sweep over Tampa Bay. The sweep put the Dodgers at 48-27. They have a 9-game lead over San Diego in the NL West. The Dodgers are off today. They start a 3-game series at home Friday night against Baltimore. The first round of the World Cup is generating high TV ratings for Fox Sports and Telemundo, the primary broadcast partners for the World Cup. An average of 6 million viewers tuned into Fox Sports for each of the first 16 group matches. That's a 128% increase from first-round matches for the World Cup in 2022. An average of 7.5 million people watch first-round matches on Telemundo, the Spanish-language network based in Miami. The 7.5 million is a 234%